You fucking serious? Who wants to play basketball? Get the hell out of here. Lowry snapped at Villanova's coach. He didn't want to play basketball at this university. But UConn didn't seem to want him either. He regretted speaking like that. What was going on? Kyle Lowry was born in a crime-ridden area of Philadelphia. Drugs and crime were rampant. Due to an unhappy family, Lowry never received much education. He and his brother roamed the streets daily, begging for food. Apart from this monotonous life, they had one hobby: playing at the local street courts. In 1996, a top prospect named Allen Iverson came to Philly. His flashy playing style captivated the local kids. Lowry was one of them. Iverson was his childhood idol. If he could play like Iverson one day, that would be incredibly cool. But the immediate problem was getting into school. Later, his mother sent him to a local high school. Fortunately, Lowry excelled. In just 2 years, he became a renowned point guard in Pennsylvania. But due to his short stature, many colleges scoffed at him. After another 2 years, Lowry's fame rose again. His fearless playing style impressed many coaches. For Lowry, his dream school was UConn. He called the university himself, but was deeply disappointed by the response. "We can let you play here, but we can't offer a scholarship." Hearing this, Lowry was in a dilemma. His family couldn't afford college. Just when he was feeling down, Villanova contacted him, hoping he would play for them. Lowry retorted angrily, "You fucking serious? Who wants to play basketball? Get the hell out of here." He hung up, but a day later, he regretted it. Villanova was the only school sincerely inviting him, and he had just driven them away. So, he swallowed his pride and called back. "Sorry, sir. I was going through something yesterday. That's why I said that." Hearing Lowry's explanation, the Villanova coach didn't hold it against him, and recruited him. After a season of adjustment, Lowry became a starter in his sophomore year. He found his niche: fearless hustling and battling. This energized the team. In 2006, Villanova fell in the NCAA Elite Eight. Lowry then declared for the NBA draft. But before the draft, injuries came knocking. "We guarantee you'll be the team's core. Don't worry," the Grizzlies management assured Lowry. But just half a year later, the team drafted another guard. Lowry realized there were no absolute guarantees in this league. Back in 2006, before the NBA draft, Lowry was full of hope after the NCAA loss. But during the physical, he was found to have a kidney issue, clouding his draft prospects. Ultimately, at the 24th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies selected Lowry. This meant limited playing time in his rookie year. But the Grizzlies confidently assured him, "We'll develop you as our core point guard." This gave Lowry confidence. But unfortunately, after just 10 games, Lowry fractured his wrist, ending his season. What disheartened him more was the team drafting another guard, Mike Conley. Lowry was there in person. He then realized there were no absolute guarantees in this league. As expected, a year later, Lowry was traded to the Houston Rockets. But the situation there was similar to Memphis. For 2 years, Lowry had no starting opportunities, until in the third year, after Brooks got injured, he started and scored 13 points. This game convinced management he could be a starter. But less than half a year later, news of a rift with the coach spread throughout Houston. Some thought Lowry was arrogant, but he didn't explain much. Management tried to mediate, but after the season, Lowry knew he had to leave. As expected, after the season, Lowry was traded to Toronto. Hearing the news, he was stunned, then lost. He thought of Toronto as a desolate place. Later, Lowry said in an interview, "I felt exiled." Upon arrival, Lowry had no plans to play long-term. He felt everyone there was discarded. But with one person's arrival, Lowry gradually fell in love with the place. When drafted, DeRozan also had reservations about the city. But after spending time with Lowry, he realized there was championship potential here. It was time to prove it with his brother. But in those years' Eastern Conference, one person made all teams uneasy. Are you kidding? This is terrible. When his brother DeRozan was traded, Lowry lost control. He stormed into the management's office, demanding why, but got no answer. Lowry understood the NBA was just a business, where such things happen daily. It was perfectly normal. Back in 2012, Lowry was traded from the Rockets to the Raptors. There, he met a close friend, DeMar DeRozan, One was quiet, the other outgoing. Their complementary personalities made them fast friends. The following year, they led the team to the 3rd seed in the East, only to be eliminated. In the next few years, they kept the Raptors in the top 4 of the East, but couldn't escape LeBron's grasp. LeBron was like a demon in the East, suffocating all teams. Finally, in 2016, the Raptors made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time, but their opponent was still LeBron. They had no chance, and were eliminated again. This led the management to lose faith in their star, DeRozan, but no action was taken yet. 2 years later, the Raptors faced LeBron again in the playoffs. History repeated itself, and they were swept, despite the Cavaliers being weaker that year. This prompted the management to act. They orchestrated a major trade, sending DeRozan to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard. After the trade, DeRozan called Lowry immediately, though Lowry was reluctant. He had no choice. Shortly after, their head coach was replaced. Then, a month later, Marc Gasol joined the team. It seemed the team was gambling, hoping to win the championship that year. And they were right. The Raptors overcame numerous obstacles, defeating the Golden State Warriors in the finals to win the title. Immediately after winning, Lowry called DeRozan, sharing his joy. Though he couldn't celebrate with his brother, DeRozan was the first person he shared his joy with. Later, to honor Lowry's contributions to Toronto, the city built a statue of him. He had indeed achieved greatness.